So here we have a used 2016 Maserati Gran Turismo. This one is the convertible, as you can see. Black on beige leather interior. And for the powertrain, we get a 4.7 liter naturally aspirated V8 engine that's mated to a 6-speed automatic transmission. That gives us 454 horsepower, 384 pound-feet of torque. This one has like less than 21,000 miles on it, just crazy. Front end here, we do get our LED daytime running lights and our high-intensity discharge headlamps. And this is one of my favorite cars just because it's so subtle, but that front fascia, when you see it coming in the rear view mirror, it's a nasty look. It really is, in a good way. Down here to these wheels, these are gonna be 20-inch painted alloy. Really like that design there. We have our power mirror controls here. You can pick the left side adjust, right side adjust, or turn it all the way down, and then the mirrors will power fold. And then we have one touch up and down for the driver's side window. I believe express down on the other 3 doors. Door panel there. Bose sound system. You can put a few maps here in the door panel if you want to, in that pocket. And then our headlamp controls are here. You can go through your trip meter and what's shown up there. I'll show you that after a while. Parking sensors, brightness for the gauge cluster, gas cap, trunk release, and then we do get a power tilt telescoping steering wheel. These pedals are very interesting. I really like those. But here we have our power driver seat. We do get memory seat function here, and then we have a 3-stage heated seat. But just a nice looking interior with this beige here. We can get to the rear seat, and that'll kind of slide up when you hit the button. And I mean, if I had to sit back here, I'm sure I would enjoy it, but not too much space, but it is what it is. Rear AC vents, bottle holders here. And again, it just looks really good. Now I want to give a huge thanks to Auto Collection of Murfreesboro and Auto Pro Nashville for allowing me to review this car today. I'll leave a link below in the description. But if you're looking to find the best price on one of these closer to home, click that second link down below. It takes just a minute to fill out your information, and I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get you the best price on this or whatever pre-owned vehicle you might be interested in. Now, I probably won't let me open the gas cap while the car is running. Makes sense. But here we have the books and everything still for this one, which is crazy. Just a very well kept Maserati. It's a 12 volt. And even with the top down, storage space still pretty good for what all you need driving a car like this. Dual exhaust, love the sound of that. But that's just the grumble you get from a 4.7 liter V8. And then heated seat on this side as well, and then power adjustability for this front passenger seat. Get a lockable glove compartment here. Now this one's it's less than 50 grand, which I think is really good. I think it's like 47 or 45,000. But let me see if I can get this hood open. So as we come back around to the front, there's that 4.7 liter V8. Now I'm just gonna show off the blinkers. Nice LED tail lamps there. And it's nice to have that on the side there. But like a typical Maserati, very interesting how everything's set up. Well, let's hop in the driver's seat. Nice leather wrap steering wheel here, like the perforation on the sides. There's the horn. Now over here to the radio, navigation systems here, trying to adjust the brightness out of the top down. And then you can hit this mode button and it goes through, like you have the onboard computer showing the range, all of that. Bluetooth audio, you get AM, FM, XM. But a pretty simple setup here. And then volume knob there. And then you have a few other controls over here, so you can turn up the menu and then go through all of your functionality there. But let me close this top so I can kind of show you a little better. But we can see from the inside how that works. It's very quiet, I will say that. And the motion is just, it kind of freaks me out every time. But I mean, it goes down relatively fast. And it's funny, it adjusted the AC speed for it after I put it back down. But all these buttons basically self-explanatory. Trip computers there. It is a bit much for me. It's not a touchscreen, so it's one downside, but it is what it is. And then you can select your language here and several different languages to choose from. And like even define the vehicle parameters. You can go through all of this here. So it's just, it's interesting. Let me put it that way. Again, like a typical Maserati. But CD drive is here. Now to the AC controls down below, a little wonky here, but you can adjust fan direction, temperature, fan speed here. You can turn the dual zone on or off. And then again, you can adjust either side, which is cool. So if I want it facing feet on this side, I can. I can have it face on this side. The temperature right there. And you can adjust the auto for the fan direction. And then you can go full auto by hitting this button. And then you can decide whether you want the rear vents on or off. So it's neat. AC, turn that on or off there. But power door lock controls here. Hazards there. And then your sport mode, the ice mode, parking sensors off, traction control. And then another cool thing is this clock you can actually adjust, and I think it's still working. But to do that, you can just hold it or you can press it. But if you hold it, you can kind of set it where it needs to be. And then for the shifter, just grab the button here, reverse neutral drive, come over here, you get your manual mode, and you can use the shifter here or the paddle shifters behind the steering wheel. But bottle holders, 12 volt. Again, this is for the roof to open and shut that. You can stow all that so no one gets tempted to hit it. And then your center console cubby space is right in here. And then here we have the lights if you want to turn those on. Now back to the steering wheel itself. Your cruise is on this left knob here, which is pretty interesting. So you can turn that on or off there and then adjust the speed there and then activate it that way. I'll show you that on the test drive portion. But over here we get the automatic wipers. So one time off, auto, low, high, and then we can adjust that auto sensitivity right there and then just pull up there for the front fluid. But volume controls, voice recognition, Bluetooth, mute, go through your sources, track list, radio station presets. And then over here, again, when I hit this mode button on the side, I can see the different views that are available. So very interesting. Again, like a typical Maserati, it's pretty neat. Then finally, here is the key and the ignition with the key fob. But next to the fun part, let's go ahead and take this 2016 Maserati Gran Turismo out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in this Maserati Gran Turismo, having it in sport mode now, just because I love the exhaust sound. This is just a super cool car. Wouldn't necessarily call it fast, but all right, I'll take it back. It's pretty fast, but it's not something that will necessarily blow your socks off, but the sound and just the overall driving experience is what makes this such a cool car. But this is meant to be driven, I don't want to say boringly, but it's meant to be driven for more leisurely strolls, if that makes sense. So it's a quick car, but most people aren't going to use it that way. And that's why you see this car has 20,000 miles on it, and it's a 2016. But for someone like me, pick up one of these pre-owned, I would drive the heck out of this thing. It's just so much fun. It's so quick. It's just, you really get the best of both worlds. It kind of reminds me of the Ferrari California, where people don't get these necessarily to drive the mess out of them, but they're one of those cars that you can drive the mess out of, and then when you have it in the normal mode, it's just, it's a touring car. It really is. But it's just, it has such a presence to it. Even though it's subtle, when you see one of these, you're like, oh, that thing is clean. Now, in terms of the ride quality so far, I can feel the road, but it's relatively smooth. It feels so good in here. And even though the exhaust is loud, if I take this out of sport mode, it's a relatively quiet car. But I have it in sport mode now. I'm gonna try to give it a pull getting on the interstate here, if I can give myself enough space. Here we go. Wow. Oh, that is nice. I mean, the car is fast. I'll put it that way. Again, it's not meant to be driven that way. What's crazy is this is a 10-year-old Maserati, and this thing is so smooth that you don't realize how fast you're going in it. That's just how good the suspension is. And again, when you hit bumps, you can feel the car, but it's not anything terrible. It's really just what you want. Now, I will say the cruise control in here kind of freaks me out. You kind of you activate on the side here. It's kind of hard to show. But it's a Maserati. It's something else. But my goodness, driving one of these is just awesome. Even with the rag top, not overly loud in here at all. Now I want to give one more thanks to Auto Collections of Murfreesboro and Auto Pro Nashville for allowing me to review this car today. I'll leave a link below in the description. But if you're looking to find the best price on one of these pre-owned, click that second link down below. It takes just a minute to fill out your information, and I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get you the best price on this or whatever used vehicle you might be interested in. Now, I think for the money to get one of these used, you won't be disappointed with it. And you really have several different ways to drive this. You have the ice mode, which is that increased control and efficiency. You can use it, it's mostly meant for snow and ice mode. That's why it spells out ice. But also, if you wanted to use that as an eco mode, you could do that as well. I mean, your fuel economy's not the best here, but that's not going to be an issue if you're driving one of these. But again, when you're not in sport mode, this really is a touring car. It's smooth, it's elegant, it's simple from that aspect. But as you put in a sport mode, this thing will get up. The only thing that really holds it back, I think, is how long the gears are with the 6-speed automatic. But again, for something like this, doesn't really bother me at all. It's almost a classic, even though it's not that old. It's just a beautiful specimen of a car. Now on this car in particular, I will say everything works that I've tested out. The cruise, the clock, navigation system, everything is in good shape there. Less than 21,000 miles. It's gonna be 20,857 when I pull back in the parking lot. Super low miles for this kind of car. And again, not hearing, feeling anything out of the ordinary. It's just, again, a really good spec, really good example of this car. And I see why I wanted one of these as a kid so badly. It's just, it's fun, it's pretty inside and out, and it's neat at the same time. Even though it's not a flashy Ferrari, it still has that same presence to it. When you see it, you're like, wow, that thing is nice. And I just love everything about this car, from the driving to the ride quality to just how it feels overall. And it's one of those things, if you're thinking about buying one, I don't think you'll be disappointed in the least. And it's nothing I would change about the car. It's just, it's fantastic and fun, and I'm so glad I got the opportunity to test it out. But with all that being said, this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2016 Maserati Gran Turismo convertible.